This is Michael David Cobb for Cobb Vision. It's been a while since I've cut a video, and partially that's because I am in transition. I'd say 5 years or so, going back probably 30 years, well, maybe not that long, but anyway, I have something I call the End of My Blackness. And it is a strange thing for me because I think of my own blackness as something that is evolved quite a bit. And what happens in each of these things is I accomplish something, or I come to a realization that I've been trying to work out for several years, and I find that there is nothing in front of me that seems to be black. That is to say, I guess there's a question of, well, can a black man do this? And the answer seems to be, well, maybe so, but it's very rare, and we don't expect it. And then so when I go ahead and do that thing, and I live it, and I say, hey, black man doing this, and I say just about all I have to say on that matter, then it just kind of gets boring, and then I say, okay, well, what's next? And the problem is, of course, that there is always somebody black who has accomplished something that I've accomplished, maybe even 50 years, 100 years ago, and in some way it's no big deal. But in another way, every accomplishment kind of isolates one. Now, I'm not going to try to be presumptuous and say that I am so gifted and accomplished that I've done all these things, but I do accomplish the goals that I set out for myself. And the one I had set out for myself several years ago, about 5 years ago, when I started my blog Cobb, was to define the old school, talk about what it's like to be a black Republican, and then I kind of gave up the black label on that, and then talked about, moderate conservatism and all of these things, and I've done okay. I've gotten on a couple TV shows and a couple radio programs, and I started a blog league, and I helped some other folks and get exposure to these ideas, and now it's kind of like an old idea. And so I'm faced at this time with the actual success of that, and I'm still getting called, of course, to do the old thing, which is, make another album like the first album, why don't you? So that is in effect the end of my blackness as a blogger, because as a black conservative blogger, there are certain things that you're expected to do, and I think I've done them. Now, it doesn't change who I am. I'm not going to get rid of that. I'm just going in a new direction. And so I'm not quite so sure as to whether or not I should call attention to being black, because it's not a being thing, it's a doing thing. And so what am I doing? Well, I'm doing something different these days, which is not necessarily addressed to a black audience or a cultural audience, in the sense that black politics is an interesting thing that a lot of people would want to pay attention to. So what is it that I do black next? Hard to say. Can't say, don't know. But I do know what I do want to do, and I do know that I don't necessarily think of it as black. And that is because I feel a certain responsibility to people in general, and I don't have a separate message. I don't even believe it's necessary to have a black nuance in the kinds of things that I'm interested in going forward. So it is a kind of end of my blackness kind of thing, and I don't know exactly if there's an analogy that I could say that it's something like it just is what it is. So I will continue, I suppose, to comment on American politics in general, while I must say that at this current time it's rather disgusting to me. I'm kind of fed up with it. But there are interesting things, I suppose, that I will be called to answer in the future. I mean, I can't change the fact that some of my videos on Obama on Somalia, on various questions that are of particular interest to black folks. They're still popular, and I'm still responsible for them. I'm not no way backing away from those things, and my ideas haven't changed. But it's just a matter of emphasis right now. So this is a little weird place where I'm at right now. And, I always get my bearings. I always do, because I've gone through this about 4 or 5 times before. And so that's where I am right now, and I just thought I should let all my subscribers know, and I'll talk directly to the new subjects as they come up. So this is Michael David Cobb Bowen for Cobb Vision. Still me, just using other parts of my name. Peace.